Whenever I listen back to something that I do, it just makes me feel weird.
Courtney Hadwin's America's Got Talent audition wasn't just unforgettable, it was legendary. One moment she was a shy teenager from a quiet English town, the next she was a global sensation. But while the world saw a rising star, few knew the struggles happening behind the scenes. Fame came fast, but so did the backlash. Online trolls, school bullying, industry setbacks. Courtney's journey has been anything but smooth. So, how did a girl with a voice beyond her years go from viral sensation to navigating some of the toughest challenges in the music world? And where is she now? The answers might just surprise you. Courtney Hadwin's rise to fame has been nothing short of remarkable. While it may not be a classic rags to riches tale, her journey from a quiet English village to the global stage is undeniably striking. Her breakthrough moment came on season 13 of America's Got Talent, where her electrifying audition stunned both the judges and the audience, setting her on a path towards stardom. Hadwin comes from Hessedon, a small village in northeast England. According to her mother and Marie, life there is simple. Just a school, a shop, a pub, a park, and a working men's club. Once a thriving mining town, Hessedon has grown quieter over the years. Long before she stepped onto the America's Got Talent stage, Hadwin knew she wanted to be a singer. That dream sparked when she watched young Connie Talbot perform on Britain's Got Talent. But it was a James Brown performance on YouTube that cemented her path. While her classmates listened to pop chart toppers like Ariana Grande, Ed Sheeran, and Katy Perry, Hadwin gravitated toward a different sound. Janis Joplin, Otis Reading, and Aretha Franklin. Pop music wasn't off her radar, but soul music spoke to her in a way nothing else did. She had the talent, no doubt, but she knew raw ability wasn't enough. To refine her voice, she needed professional training, an expense that didn't come cheap. Rather than wait for an opportunity, she created one. In 2016, Hadwin took to the streets, busking across England in high-try areas to fund her vocal lessons. Her grandfather Tom Story later shared that the money she earned not only covered her training, but also her travel expenses, while shopkeepers and passers-by enjoyed her performances, not everyone welcomed her presence. Fellow street performers saw her grow in crowds as competition and often tried to push her out. But when someone commands attention the way she did, people stop and listen, no matter who protests. Courtney's journey began on the local talent show circuit, where she honed her craft with relentless dedication. She wasn't just performing for fun. She was determined to make her mark. In 2015, she took the stage at Teen UK, delivering a powerful rendition of David Guetta's Titanium. The following year, she reached the finals of Open Mic UK, showcasing her unique interpretation of Sinead O'Connor's Nothing Compares to You. Her commitment was unwavering. As her mother shared with the Hartle Mail, Courtney would come home from school, complete her homework, and spend every evening immersed in practice. Then came June 2016. This was when people really started to take notice. At least in her hometown, She had just started at the academy at Shotton Hall and nobody knew much about her. But then her school put up a video of her on Facebook. She was only 11 at the time, and it was like suddenly everyone knew she had this powerhouse voice. She went to an open mic night and sang Say Something by A Great Big World and Christina Aguilera. And people in the room were straight up stunned. The reaction at school was wild, too. She later said she couldn't even walk down the hallway without someone stopping her to congratulate her. It was weird for her, but exciting at the same time. That same year, she entered the Red Dreams One Voice competition, going up against singers as old as 15. When the results came in, she didn't just hold her own, she won. Now, Red Dreams wasn't just any contest. It was part of a music charity she had been working with even before stepping onto big TV stages. People there saw another side of her, too. One person who worked with the charity said that the quiet, shy girl people saw in interviews, that was the real Courtney. Crowds and attention made her nervous. But the second she got on stage, it was like she transformed into someone completely different. Her granddad Tom's story backed that up. He always said that in everyday life, Courtney was super shy, kept to herself, and didn't say much. But the second she had a microphone in her hand, it was like something switched on inside her. Even she admitted that singing made her feel way more confident than just talking. It was how she truly expressed herself. Then came The Voice Kids UK. When she stepped out for her blind audition, she tore into Tina Turner's Nutbush City Limits, and she didn't just sing it, she performed it. will.i.am was so hyped that he actually asked her to do part of it again just so he could see her dance some more. Danny Jones ended up picking her for his team, guiding her through the competition. In the battle round, she went up against Ebony Green and Holly Furman with Dancing in the Street. For her semi-final, she brought serious energy with James Brown's I Got You, I Feel Good. And for the final performance on July 16, 2017, she belted out And I Am Telling You I'm Not Going from Dreamgirls, but her journey ended there as a finalist. Now, you'd think being on The Voice Kids UK would be a dream come true, right? But for Courtney, it came with a downside: bullying. After her time on the show, she started getting hit with online hate. Her granddad told the Daily Mail that people were trashing her, saying she wasn't singing, just shouting. While online negativity can be brushed aside, the bullying she endured at school was far more difficult to ignore. According to The Sun, things got rough for her in school. Some kids couldn't handle the idea that she was on the path to stardom, and jealousy turned into straight-up bullying. She talked about how kids laughed at her and made fun of her voice, saying she sounded like a boy. Despite the cruelty, she refused to let their words define her. Her parents were deeply concerned about the toll this negativity could take. Her mother admitted that seeing Courtney endure so much hate was frightening, but she also recognized something important. If her daughter could stay strong, she had to be strong for her as well. Her father noted that criticism was an unavoidable part of an artist's journey, pointing out that even Ed Sheeran had once deleted his Twitter account due to overwhelming negativity. Still, Courtney remained focused, determined to prove her doubters wrong through her success. Now, here's the thing. Most people would have expected her to go from The Voice Kids UK to Britain's Got Talent, right? That would have made sense. But Courtney had other plans. She wanted to aim bigger. She once explained that she chose America's Got Talent because the artists she admired the most were from the US. In her mind, if she was going to take her shot, she was going to do it on the biggest stage possible. At just 13 years old, Courtney Hadwin stepped onto the America's Got Talent stage in season 13, visibly nervous as she faced the massive crowd, the judges, and the bright lights. Her quiet, shy demeanor reflected the weight of the moment. One that would be overwhelming for anyone, especially a young girl about to perform on one of the biggest stages in the world. And then came those awkward little questions from the judges. You know, the ones, the kind that make you cringe a little because you can tell the person on stage is just trying to get through them. Everybody watching was probably bracing themselves, thinking, okay, this could go either way. Sometimes nerves take over and a performance just falls apart. But what happened next? Unreal. The second the music started and Courtney launched into her high-energy cover of Otis readings. Hard to handle, it was like a completely different person took over. That shy girl gone in her place, a full-on rock star. She owned that stage like she had been doing this for decades. And you could see the moment the judges realized what was happening. Howie Mandel just sat there speechless. Heidi Klum looked like she couldn't believe what she was seeing. It was like someone had flipped a switch. The crowd erupted. People leaped out of their seats, cheering, clapping, completely swept up in the moment. And Courtney, she was in her element. Her voice carried that raw, gritty energy, swagger, even reminiscent of legends like Steven Tyler or Janis Joplin. Then came the moment, a soaring high note so powerful that Howie Mandel threw his hands up in disbelief. It was the kind of performance America's Got Talent was made for. But while the audience was in awe, Courtney's grandfather wasn't the least bit surprised. Speaking to the Daily Mail, he explained that they had always believed she'd connect better with American audiences than back home in the UK. And Simon Cowell, he could only mutter two words: bloody hell. As if he had just seen a ghost. Once the song ended, Simon told her she was like a lion when she sang. But Howie, he had something else in mind. He started talking about this moment in music history when Clive Davis went to the Monterey Pop Festival and discovered Janis Joplin. The kind of moment where an unknown singer walks on stage and by the time they walk off, they're a legend. And while he couldn't sign Courtney to a record deal right then and there, he could hit that golden buzzer. And that's exactly what he did. The second his hand slammed down, confetti started raining. The audience went absolutely crazy, and just like that, Courtney Hadwin was locked into AGT history. Her audition aired on television to an audience of 11 million. a significant viewership on its own. But online, it became a phenomenon. Within a week, her performance had been viewed over 130 million times. Today, that number has surpassed 250 million. Week after week, she kept bringing that same insane energy, making it further and further into the competition. But as the season went on, things started getting a little messy. And weirdly enough, the controversy wasn't even about Courtney's performances. It was about how the show was treating her. See, some people online started noticing a pattern. She performed last in every single episode, except the finale. And those little pre-performance video packages, they were always hyping up how popular she was, how much national attention she was getting, how crazy it was that this shy girl transformed into a rock star on stage. And listen, AGT always does this. They build up a contestant story so the audience gets emotionally invested. But in Courtney's case, it led some to question whether the show was pushing her story a bit too aggressively. But does that undermine her talent? Does it diminish the millions of views her performances garnered? Does it negate the fact that audiences voted for her? Probably not. Because at the end of the day, all the debates and online chatter boiled down to one thing. This was a 14-year-old girl standing on one of the biggest stages in the world, singing the music she loved and absolutely killing it. Courtney stepped back onto the America's Got Talent stage for the quarterfinals on August 14, 2018. Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates just like this.